Good morning, Keller Williams. How are you today? Happy Monday. A little Tyne Daly from the 1989 revival of Gypsy to get us started. Because you know what? There's nothing like a scenery chewing actress to kick off the week. Anybody in this room actually see Tyne Daly do Gypsy in 1989? Some of you weren't born in 1989, I understand that. And yet, one of the things I always admired about about what Tyne Daly did on stage is that she didn't care what anybody thought about what she did. She had an idea in her head, and like the character of Mama Rose in Gypsy, she just plowed ahead, and she didn't care who she ran over, who she pushed aside, what she knocked down, whether she was on pitch or not. And that dedication and focus won her a Tony Award, just saying. Right? So push it all aside. How many of us could use a Mama Rose in our lives? Well, be careful what you wish for on that one, right? So, hey, good morning and welcome to our new format, which means we are not going to a video this morning. My stars, what do you say about that? It's like I don't know what to do with myself. We're going to dive right in. I'm going to give you a couple of thoughts about announcements. We're going to run through what that new format kind of looks like moving forward, and then dive right into our content for the day to make sure that you are out of here at 9:15 to head into your day. So quick announcements for you: 9:30 this morning, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So Monday through Thursday, do join Jebby Orr. That is her new name. Do join Debbie Orr in this Zoom room with her business building team. No, do join Debbie Orr in her Zoom room, which she's going to put the number in the chat because I always forget we're on a different Zoom channel for that one. So do join Debbie in her Zoom room this morning at 9:30 with her business building team for scripts and lead generation. I've been hearing really exciting things about the consistency with which she is creating opportunity with that team of people. So do dive in and participate as one of those team members starting this morning. 1 o'clock today, we do have a marketing mastermind on our calendar. Great opportunity for about 50 minutes for those of you who'd like to sit and brainstorm through what's really working, what's not working for you in terms of marketing your listings, marketing your business, advertising for leads, all things of that nature we will discuss at 1 o'clock today. So bring your ideas, bring your challenges, bring your successes, and we will share with each other. The Capper Cruise is tomorrow, so I just want to put everyone on alert that after about 3 o'clock or so tomorrow, the buses leave for those of you who are attending the Capper Cruise, and you would know it because that is one of our invite-only events for the year to celebrate all cappers for the previous year. So if you are on that cruise, the buses leave from your market center at 4 o'clock. So please be certain that you note that. We cannot wait for you. So if you're late, you're driving yourself, right? So be sure that you are early to the market center that you've been assigned to catch that bus. And then Friday, I want to just apologize. A couple of you logged in on Friday for a 1 o'clock session on planning your taxes, and unfortunately that was misplaced on the calendar. That was supposed to be this Friday, and so it was not in my calendar because I was planning on doing that this Friday. So if you're looking for planning your taxes 1 o'clock last Friday, do pop back in on this Friday, and we will get that information to you. All right, there's our announcements. Hey, a quick congratulations to our U.S. Open winners on the men's side. Daniil Medvedev winning his very first Grand Slam. And probably the best match of the weekend was the two teenagers on the women's side who put everybody else out and ended up in the finals together. An 18-year-old from Great Britain and a 19-year-old from Canada, ranked number 73 and 150 in the world. On the men's side, you had number 1 playing number 2. On the women's side, you had number 73 playing number 150 and number 151. So congratulations to Emma Raducanu, who won her very first Grand Slam at the ripe old age of 18. It's so exciting to see brand new players come into an existing arena and and just kind of changed the whole game. So congrats to all of them who had such great wins. And I wanted to just take a minute. Saturday was the 20th anniversary of September 11th, and I know I spent a little bit of time over the weekend just kind of checking in on some of those programs on the History Channel and doing a little digging on the internet, just to make sure that we continue to keep that day and that event in our minds. And it's one of those things that I'm always fascinated. Our Keller Williams family actually has a very close connection to that day. There's probably a whole lot more that I don't know about, but one that I always want to make sure that you know about. For those of you who have ever seen the documentary 9/11, it's simply called 9/11. It aired a couple of nights over the weekend on CNN. That was done by Jules and Gideon Naudet, who are documentary filmmakers who happened to be embedded with a fire company down in southern Manhattan that day, doing a documentary on firefighters, right? Who all of a sudden got swept up and with their documentary cameras chronicled everything that occurred that day, including being in the buildings as things were happening. It's an amazing documentary that happened all pretty much by accident. And the thing that many of us don't know is that Jules Naudet is the husband of your colleague, Jacqueline Naudet, right? And so Jacqueline is a longtime member of the Stanford Market Center. I think Jules and Jacqueline were dating at the time 9/11 actually occurred, and then got married about a year later, and got married in the firehouse that Jules and Gideon were working with those firemen on. So just kind of a fascinating story that brings it far closer to home. We're so excited and thrilled that both Jules and Gideon survived that day, so that Jules could build his life with your colleague. So just a quick mention. Just a quick mention of that, so that you are aware. And if you have not seen that documentary, it is sometimes difficult to watch, and yet important to watch. And so do dive into that. It's 2 hours of your time that is well spent. All right. So we promised you a new format, and here's why. So we've been looking at our ratings, if you will, right? This has become kind of like a morning television program, and so we have to watch our ratings, right? And what we noticed over the past couple of months is that our ratings started to slip, right? We had been averaging about a 20% share, for those of you from radio and television, I'll use that vernacular, where we had about 120 or so people on the calls each morning. And we watched that sort of slip and erode to under 100. And then the last couple of weeks, certainly in August, in the summer, we had some days in the 60s and 70s. And so we got together and said, you know what, I think what we need to do is kind of reboot our morning calls so that they are more specific to you, right? And so here's how we're going to redesign those. We now have, starting today and moving forward, although today's not a great example of it because I'm giving you more outline than I am content, we want to make sure that these calls are 15 minutes of content that you can use that day to help you improve your business, right? What information can I get by logging in for 15 minutes that I can take away and go and implement to improve my business, myself, my experience, my results? And so what that's going to look like moving forward is some version of this. We're going to have Mindset Mondays, right? I know that works real well in Jen Henry's world. So I'm going to steal from Jen Henry. If I'm going to steal from anyone, why not steal from the best, right? And so we're going to work on Mindset Mondays each Monday to kind of get our heads right for the week. On Tuesdays, we'll work through different areas of the KW value proposition. What tools are out there? What divisions do you not know about? What business builders are out there? What are the things that you have available to you as a part of this organization that you don't even know about, right? I can tell you, you don't know about them, because as we're planning for these Tuesdays, we're uncovering more things that we didn't even know about, right? So we're going to get just one of those each week so that you have an idea of other things to plug into. On Wednesdays, we're going to work scripts and objection handlers, right? We're going to bring you a script of the day or an objection handler of the day so that we can have just a quick 10-minute conversation around how to handle that issue when you're struggling with commission on a listing, or how to help a buyer understand that now is a great time to purchase. So look forward to that. Thursdays, we're going to reserve for guests and success stories and vendors. We're going to keep that in place because so many of you told us that a lot of the people that we've had on have really been helpful to you in your business. So we're going to continue to design that moving forward. And then Fridays, we're going to work through a bold law every Friday. And so there's going to be our Friday bold laws, where we're going to have a conversation around how to turn bold laws into actual action items. And of course, we're going to have our monthly stats and our monthly profit share and our monthly awards and some special things going on for you as well. But there will be a slightly different format. Our mortgage partners will be joining us on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays for their Mortgage Minute. There's 3 partners, so we have 3 days to work them in as well. You might get a video every once in a while because I probably just can't help myself. And yet, we're going to start right at 9 and get right to the content. So that's kind of the plan moving forward. That said, I want to dive right in because I'm down to only 3 minutes to my content for today. For those of you who know me for a long time, I have been on a crusade to help people move through and past conditional language. Right. And what does conditional language mean? Well, it's the probablys and the shoulds and the woulds and the coulds and the kind ofs and the sort ofs and the I hopes, right? It's all those words that cloud the clarity of what we intend to do. I'll give you a couple examples, right? For those of you who are bold graduates, you have but, right? We don't say the word but, instead we use the word and, because and is less conditional than but. Right? There is no try, there's intend or will. There's no sort of or kind of, right? There's no probably, it either is or it isn't, right? Should, could, or would. Let's replace those words with will. I hope to. No, you don't hope to, you intend to, right? I want you to really start being clear with your language so that your brain knows what to do. And that's really the conversation that we're having this morning. When you are clearer with your language, you are clearer with your brain, and your brain actually knows how to behave. When you're not clear and you're utilizing subjective or conditional language, your brain is not exactly sure what to do, or it feels like you're kind of giving it a pass. I'm going to give you an example of one that's really been powerful for me, and then talk through a new one that I heard just recently in the next 2 minutes. The one that's been most powerful for me is that I have changed or continue to work on changing I have to. I don't say that anymore. Instead of saying I have to go and do this. I have to go pick up my kids, or I have to go and write a report. I have to go and do this. I've changed that to I have the opportunity to, or I choose to. You take your pick, right? I choose to go and do that. I choose to go and do X. I have the opportunity to go and pick up my kids. It makes you in charge instead of the world in charge. It allows you to feel as though you are making the decisions about how you spend your time, instead of the world around you just enforcing its will upon you, right? So that's the one that's really changed my world for the better. Here's one I heard last week. I was talking to a couple of people, and they had actually done the P equals P minus I exercise that I gave you guys last week. And what they wrote down was fascinating, because a lot of the answers, a lot of the information that they came up with for themselves started with, since COVID, I don't go into the office as much and I feel like I'm missing out on things. Or since COVID, I don't call my database as consistently as I had been. Or since COVID, I don't exercise at a level that keeps me feeling good. And it was fascinating to listen to the since COVID prefix. And so I'm adding that this morning to the list of things that we're going to pivot away from saying, because I want you to listen to the differences of these two sentences. Since COVID, I don't call my database as consistently as I had been. Or I don't call my database as consistently as I had been. Those are two very different things. The second one is actionable. The second one is you holding yourself to account for a change that has occurred that you've now been made aware of and can go and change. The first one, with those two simple words, since COVID, it's kind of like the excuse. It's like, well, you know what? I have no control over anything that happens, so therefore, it just is what it is. I was blown away because I asked them to repeat what their answers to me without that phrase. And I was blown away at how different it sounded to me. So my thought for you this morning from a be careful of the words you use is get rid of since COVID, or even the one that makes me even crazier is since COVID hit, as if it was an asteroid, right? It's not. I don't understand that phrase at all, but remove it from your language. If you find that things are different since last March, it's okay. Just state that they're different and then start creating strategies to change them back. Because when you take away the reason or the excuse for why something has happened, you're just left with a statement that is far easier for you to take action around, because now it's just up to you. It has nothing to do with any external circumstance. Guys, I hope that is helpful to you today. I know I took 2 more minutes. I promise to get better at the 9:15. Have an awesome day today. We'll see you at 1 o'clock, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9. Take care.